Hi everyone, today's yoga practice is going to be all levels vinyasa flow, so you'll have a little bit for everyone, right? So don't worry if you're beginner, if you're more advanced, I'll throw out a lot of options. We're going to focus on opening up the hips, the outer part of the hip with things like pigeon, number 4, lizard, those external rotators, but also the inner part, right? The inner thighs with straddle splits variations, butterfly, all of that. So we're going to work both the outer and the inner part, open it up. You're going to feel great after today's vinyasa flow. Keep in mind that if you need to rest, you can take a child's pose, and like I said at the beginning, take the modifications, listen to your body. If you have props, yoga props are always handy. 2 blocks and a strap are ideal. If you don't have them, don't worry, you can still make it work. So we're going to begin in that child's pose so you know where that is, so you can always come back to that home base at any point in the practice. So find your mats, go towards the back and bring your big toes together. Knees wide, forehead down, and just stretch those arms out in front. And child's pose should feel good. Press the hips back towards the heels, forehead down, extend your arms away from you. And take a couple deep breaths, check in, and notice how your body's feeling. Especially if you're doing this in the morning, if you're doing this live with me, right? Sometimes things feel a little tighter, a little different when you first wake up. And begin to find your Ujjayi breath. Start to breathe in and out through your nose. Slightly constricting the back of the throat so you can hear the sound of your breath. And try to make your inhales and exhales even longer so you can use that breath throughout the practice. So you go at your pace, you follow your breath. It's okay if you're faster or slower than my cues, or if you need to take different options, listening to your body. Keep your legs as they are. Walk your hands to the right side of the mat. Put the left hand on top of the right so you feel a little stretch through the left side of the body. And then walk it to the left side, put your right hand on top of the left, stretching to the right side. Okay, now let's bring it to a tabletop position. So bring your hands directly under your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. Inhale, arch the back, gaze up for cow pose. And then as you exhale, tuck your chin in and round your back for cat. Just warming up the spine here. Inhale to arch. Try to exaggerate that movement as much as you can. Exhale as you round. One more time. Inhale to arch. Exhale to round. And then after that last one, find a neutral spine. Gate pose. You step your left leg to the side and then come up. So you're balancing on that right knee and left foot. Your left hand goes on the left leg and then you reach that right arm over your ear, creating that side body stretch on the right side. Good, lift your torso up, switch to legs. Put your left knee down, step the right leg to the side, right hand on the right leg, and then reach that left arm over, stretch that left side body. Good, back to your hands and knees, tabletop. Thread the needle, take your right arm, peel it up, open the chest, thread the right arm through the left and put your head all the way down. Then walk the left hand forward towards the front of the mat. If you want a little more, walk your left hand to the right. Open up the shoulder and the back here. Back to tabletop to reset and switch sides. Peel your left arm up, thread it through, put your head down, walk your right hand forward, maybe walk it to the left. Good, back to your hands and knees, reset and tabletop. Now activate your core, right arm forward, left leg back, opposite arm and leg. As you exhale, it's like a crunch. Try to bring your knee and elbow to touch. Inhale to extend and reach. Good, exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. One more time, knee to elbow. Now extend it out. Option 1, just hold here and balance, or go for the back bend. Reach your right hand back, grab that left foot, kick it back if you can reach. Stretch it out, place it down, switch sides. Left arm, right leg. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale to extend. One more time, knee to elbow. Extend it out, use your core and hold, or reach around, grab the foot for that back bend. Stretch it out, place it down. Now we'll come into our first down dog. Plant your hands shoulder width, tuck your toes, and lift your hips up. Feet are hips width. First one, move around a little bit. So as you bend the right hamstring, and then you switch. And you pedal out your feet. Walk it out a couple times each side. Notice how the backs of the legs feel. Maybe do the same thing with the arms, bending one elbow at a time. Anything that feels good. And when you're ready, you settle in. Shoulders away from the ears. Push your chest back towards the thighs so you can press more weight into the heels. Inhale, glide forward just to a high plank. So this is how you check your alignment for down dog, because you should be able to go from high plank to down dog without moving your hands and feet. So keep your hands and feet where they are, pike your hips up, down dog. And don't worry if your heels don't reach the mat yet, that takes time. Inhale, forward, high plank. Exhale, lift your hips, down dog. One more time. Inhale, forward, high plank. Exhale, down dog. Now walk your feet up to meet your hands. Take as many steps as you need. Ragdoll. Feet hips width. Bend your knees a lot. And grab opposite elbows. And just let yourself hang here. Maybe shake your head. Yes and no. So you can relax your neck. And then shift the body weight from the right foot to the left foot. Swaying a bit side to side. Or maybe also forward and back. Shifting the weight from the balls of the feet to the heels. Stretching into your lower back. Your hamstrings. Release your arms, roll yourself up to stand, one vertebra at a time. Good. When you get to the top, let's lift the arms up. Grab your left wrist, pull it over to the right, create that side body stretch. And then switch. Grab your right wrist and pull it to the other side. Now, as you bring it to center, interlace the fingers behind the back, or you can grab a strap or towel. Or sometimes just have to bend the elbows a little bit more to help you get the fingers interlaced. Open the chest. Bend your knees, fold forward, keeping the hands interlaced. Now release the hands and we're going to cross the feet. So you'll take your right foot, cross it behind the left foot, and fold forward. And again, bend the knees as much as you need to, depending on how the hamstrings are feeling. If your legs are straight and you're ready for a little bit more, you try walking your hands to the left side of that mat. Good. Walk it to center. Switch the cross of the feet. So now your right foot is in front. And fold forward. Or walk it to the right. Good. Walk it to center. Uncross the feet. Inhale, lengthen to a flat back. As you exhale, plant the hands, step to plank. And let's modify the first one so that everyone knows the modification if they need it. You put your knees down. Hug your elbows in like you're doing a tricep push-up, but slowly come to the floor. That's our modification for chaturanga. Now untuck the toes. Press down through the tops of the feet. Engage your quads just so you feel those kneecaps lift. Cobra pose. The feet stay down and you lift your chest. It's a pretty small back bend. And that's our modification for up dog. You can always do cobra here. Then you lower down. To come back up, you push up to your knees. Tuck your toes and come to down dog. So at any point in class, if you want to do that version instead of the one on the toes, you can take that for your vinyasa. Or you can always skip any vinyasas, right? Sometimes we do a lot of chaturangas. If you need to skip some, just come here to down dog. Look forward, step or hop, both feet up to meet your hands. Feet together. Inhale, lengthen your spine to a flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Now use that flat back. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up to stand. Gaze up, maybe those palms touch. Exhale, swan dive back down. Inhale as you lengthen. Exhale, plant the hands, step to plank. Now you can go to your knees or you can try staying on your toes. Halfway down, chaturanga, hug the elbows in. Then flip over to the tops of the feet, up dog. So if you do that up dog, your knees stay off the floor. It might be hard to tell in the camera, but I'm really strongly pushing down through the tops of the feet and the hands. Lift the hips, flip back over your feet, downward facing dog. Again, a couple more times, sun A to warm up here. Look forward, step, or maybe add that little hop to the front. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up to stand. Exhale, swan dive all the way back down. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, step, or maybe even add that hop back. Chaturanga. Inhale to up dog or to cobra. Exhale, we meet in down dog. Good. One final time, same thing. Look forward, step or hop to the front. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. Exhale, swan dive all So lengthen. Exhale, step or jump. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. And now check in. Notice if your down dog starts to feel a little more open. Press the weight to the heels. Lift your right leg up. Open the hip, bend the leg. And maybe draw a couple circles with the ankle, both directions. Get a nice stretch in that hip. Straighten the right leg, square the hip. Step your right foot between your hands and put your left knee down, low lunge. So you want to make sure to start here, your right knee's right over that ankle. We're sinking into that left hip flexor. Whew. If you want to add on, lift your arms up, maybe add a little back bend, gazing up. You might even press the palms together, but keep sinking into that lunge, stretching that hip flexor. Then lower your hands down, half splits if you need to. Both hands can always go to blocks if you have those. Straighten your right leg and flex your foot. Your left hip's over your knee. Don't sit back on the other foot. And fold. Sometimes you might have to wiggle that right foot forward to get that right leg straight. So do that as well. Do your best to get that right leg straight so you can stretch that hamstring and calf. Now rebend that leg so we can go back to chaturanga. So it's optional. If you want to just go to down dog, go to down dog. Otherwise, step back, exhale, lower halfway. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog, and reset. Now other side, lift that left leg up, open the hip, bend the leg, maybe draw a few circles. Move it around. Straighten the leg, square your hip. Step your left foot between your hands and then put that right knee down. And anytime when you step that foot forward, it's hard, right? It's a hard movement. Come up to the fingertips to help make more space to get it forward. If it still doesn't make it up there, use your hand to scoot it up there to get that knee over the ankle. And then sink into that right hip flexor. If you want, keep your hands here or lift the arms up, adding a little back bend. If it's okay at the shoulders, maybe the palms come together. Lower the hands down for your half split. Straighten that left leg. Flex the left foot and fold towards the left leg. Good. Rebend that leg so you can get your hands to the mat. Optional. Step back. Chaturanga. Low push up. Inhale. Up dog. Exhale. Down dog. Lift your right leg up. This time, step it between your hands for crescent lunge. So you'll stay on the ball of the back foot and then reach the arms up. High crescent. Hips are square to the front. Engage that back leg. So your back leg should be straight with that heel up and you have that deep bend in the front leg. And then anytime we do this high lunge, you can always modify by going back to that low lunge that we did earlier. Now we're going to open to warrior two. Pivot your back heel flat. Open the arms like a T. So your back foot's now parallel to the back edge of the mat. Nothing really changed in that front foot, right? Your front foot and knee still point straight forward. Your hips are facing the side wall, but you're gazing at that right hand. Hold that position with the legs. Flip your right palm up, left hand to your left thigh, and reach back with that right arm. Reverse warrior, stretching the right side body. Windmill the hands to the front, step back, chaturanga, low push up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Other side, lift your left leg up, step it between your hands, come up to crescent lunge. Start on the ball of the back foot, square the hips, take a moment, always find that good form. Engage that back leg so it's straight, and then big bend in the front leg. Open to warrior two, pivot the back heel down. Your left heel lines up with that right arch, so you have that heel to arch alignment. Your torso is facing the side wall, but you're gazing at that left hand. Keep that big bend in the left leg. Flip your left palm up. Reverse warrior. Reach backwards. Stretch the left side body. Windmill the hands to the front so you can step back. Chaturanga. Low push up. Inhale. Up dog. Exhale. Down dog. We're just going to add on a little bit. Lift the right leg up and open the hip, bend the leg. So like we did earlier, maybe you just stay here or flip your dog by bringing the foot to the floor, pivoting the other foot around, adding in a little back bend. Right arm reaches forward. Look down, flip it right back around to that three-legged dog, and step forward, crescent lunge. So same position, you're on the ball of the back foot. Whoop, keep your balance, reach the arms up. Whenever we do crescent, You want to make sure your feet are in line with your hip bones so you feel more balanced. If it feels like your feet are on a tightrope, widen them so that you have better balance. Open to warrior two, pivoting that back heel down. Reverse your warrior. Now, as we windmill our hands down, we're going to go to side plank. Okay, left hand down, step back, stack the feet, right arm up. Or modify by putting the bottom knee down. Or maybe look up, grab that right big toe. Vashisthasana. Let go. Both hands go down. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Now remember, it's optional. Lift the left leg up and open the hip and bend the leg. And hold here or flip your dog, finding that back bend. Pivoting all 10 toes to face the back. Lifting the hips up, reaching that left arm forward. Look down, flip it back around to a three-legged dog. Step your left foot between your hands. Crescent lunge. Take a couple breaths. Find that high crescent. Open to warrior two. Pivot the back heel down. Inhale to reverse. Exhale, windmill the hands down. Side plank as you step back. Right hand stays down. Maybe you put the bottom knee on the ground or stack the feet, or maybe your peace fingers can try to grab that big toe and lift that leg up. Good, both hands come back down. Exhale, lower halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Let's bring the knees down for a moment. We're just going to do one dolphin pose today. Elbows down, grab the outside of the triceps. Just to measure it out. Keep your elbows there, extend the forearms. So your forearms should be parallel, palms are flat. Tuck your toes like you're going to do down dog, but keep your elbows down. Push the floor away, really strong through the arms. So it might be hard to tell because my ponytail, but my head is not touching the ground. Walk your feet to the middle. Maybe hold or lift your right leg up and hold for 5. Keep pushing the floor away. 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch legs if you had a leg up, left leg up. Keep holding dolphin. Build that strength in your shoulders. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Child's pose. Just like we did at the beginning. Reset there in your child's pose. Take a couple deep breaths. Now, tabletop position. Puppy pose, the good counter pose to dolphin, stretches our shoulders so your hips will stay up. Walk the hands out and start to melt your chest to the ground. For some people, that means their forehead can reach. For others, it might be the chin. Push the chest down, stretch into the shoulders and the back. Hips stay up. Good. Walk your hands in, and we'll meet back in down dog. Lift your right leg up, step it forward, back to your crescent lunge. Open to warrior two. This time stay in warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale to side angle. Right elbow to the thigh, left arm up, pushing away from the thigh. Staying there if you want, or the next option is to go deeper by bringing your right hand to the floor, block on the inside of the foot. And if it's okay in the left shoulder, you might reach your left arm forward, palm facing down, and look up towards the ceiling. Come back up, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Now as you exhale, come forward for half moon. Walk your right hand 6 to 8 inches in front of the right baby toe. You might have to step that left foot in first to help you. Peel that left hip open, flex the foot, and then reach the left arm up. So your right standing toes didn't change. They're still pointing forward, but your left flying toes are pointed towards the sidewall. In half moon, the hip is open. And if you have a block, this is a good pose to put under that block under your bottom hand, right? Especially if you can't straighten that standing leg. Step back, warrior two. Reset, adjust if you need to. Inhale, reverse, and then exhale, windmill down to the front. Step back, chaturanga, low push up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog, and reset. Other side, lift the left leg up, step in between your hands. Back to your crescent lunge. Open to warrior two. Inhale as you reverse. Exhale to side angle. Maybe start with that left elbow on the thigh, shoulders away from the ears. Make sure you're not sinking into that arm. And then if you want to go deeper, left hand to the floor or block. Maybe that right arm reaches forward, but you don't have to. If it feels a little tight, you can keep that arm just straight up. Come all the way back up, warrior two. Inhale as you reverse. Exhale to half moon. Walk that left hand forward, usually closer to the left corner of the mat. 6 to 8 inches in front of that left baby toe. Flex your right foot. Really active, straight flying leg. Open up that hip. Find your balance at the same time. Step back, warrior two. Inhale as you reverse your warrior. Exhale, windmill the hands all the way to the front. Step back, chaturanga, low push up. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, down dog. Now this time lift the right leg up, but step it wide to the outside of that right hand, lizard pose. Put your back knee on the ground, untuck the toes. Hands are on the inside of the foot, and if you can get down there, you try to come down to your elbows. Or if you have blocks, you can also put your elbows on the blocks. So stretching into that right hip. Good, just breathe, try to sink into it. Couple more deep breaths on this side. Now, if you want to add in another vinyasa, right, a chaturanga, you can do that, or any arm balances. Some of you know scissors, kundanyasana, you can go over an arm balance, or I'm just going to go back to down dog, and you can follow me. Okay, reset whenever you're ready in your down dog. Then we'll switch sides, lift the left leg up, step it outside that left hand, right at the edge of the mat, and put your back knee down. Your toes point forward, your knee is over your ankle, hands on the inside of the foot, maybe one elbow down, maybe both elbows down, or if you have blocks, you can use those. Lizard pose now on the left side. And it might be different, that's okay, right? Just notice how it feels compared to the other side, and breathe some space into this hip. Couple more deep breaths. If you had any variations you wanted to add in, right? Anything you did on the other side, take those here, right? If you added in a chaturanga, if you added in an arm balance, or any other stretches. Otherwise, let's go back to down dog. Come up to your hands and step back and reset. Check in with your down dog. Lift your right leg up. Step it right between the hands. Now back to the middle. Crescent lunge. Start on the ball of that back foot again and reach your arms up high, crescent lunge. Then we'll open to warrior two. Pivot the back heel down, arms out like a T. Reverse your warrior. Reach backwards, hold it there, and straighten your right leg. So now both legs are straight. You're in reverse triangle. As you come up for triangle, it's going to be a little shorter than your warrior two. Walk your left foot in an inch or so. Hips go back, reach forward. Right hand on the shin, ankle, or foot. Left arm straight up to the ceiling for triangle pose. If you get all the way to the foot and you want a little more, maybe take your hand to the floor on the outside of that ankle. Good. Lift your torso back up and come back to warrior two. So move your back foot out an inch and rebend that right leg. Inhale as you reverse. Exhale, windmill the hands down, step back, chaturanga, low push up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Then one more time, lift that left leg up and step it to crescent lunge on this side, starting on the ball of the back foot as you reach arms up. Then we open to warrior two, pivoting the back heel down. Reverse your warrior, stay there and straighten your left leg. Reverse triangle. Now as you come up for triangle, bring your back foot in just 1 or 2 inches. Shift your hips back, reach forward, left hand, shin, ankle, or foot, right arm directly up to the ceiling. And for some of you, maybe the left hand goes to the floor, but on the outside of the foot. Lift all the way back up. Move your back foot out an inch or two and come back to that warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, windmill the hands down. Step back. Chaturanga, low push up. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, down dog. Step your feet to the front. Roll yourself up to stand. And then step long ways on the mat. So feet pretty wide, but parallel. Okay, hands to your lower back, just a small back bend. and fold forward. Walk your hands through the legs, stretch your hamstrings. If you want to do your headstands here, you can add in your headstands. So if you were to do a headstand, top of the head would be down, hands and head make a triangle for that tripod, elbows are 90 degrees. Okay, if you walk your feet back a little bit, it's a little bit better. Lift your hips up, come all the way up to your tippy toes, do not jump. Flex those feet, use those lower abs, float the legs up, out in a straddle. Now, if you've never done headstand before, I recommend you wait until a teacher can actually supervise you, because I can't see you guys through Instagram, right? But if you're comfortable with it and you've practiced it before, then you can practice your headstand as long as you have enough space at home too. That's another thing to consider. Make sure you don't hit anything. If you went upside down, come out the same way, straddle the legs, slowly pike from the hips and bring the feet down. Now we're gonna all stay in that forward fold, but walk your hands to the left leg, grab on, pull your nose closer to the left. Then walk it to the right, pull your nose closer to the right. Now back to center, take your feet, turn them out 45 degrees, walk your hands over to that left leg, bend your left leg, drop your hips down and flex that right foot for a side lunge. See if you can keep the heel down. If you can't, that's okay. But over time, you're trying to get that heel down. You might need to keep the hands on the floor, or some of you can bring your hands to prayer. Flex the foot of the straight leg. So you should feel a stretch in the hips here. Then take it the other way. Walk it to the right leg, turn the toes out, drop your butt down, flex that left foot. Hands to prayer or hands on the floor if you need them on the floor to help you balance. Now back to center. Frog pose. Come down to your knees. Slide those knees apart as wide as you can. Wiggle them apart, flex your feet, and then come down to your elbows. So now we're starting to stretch more into the inner thighs. We've done some for the outer hips right now, but now we're working on those inner thighs, the inner part of the hip. Ankle in line with knee, hip in line with knee, 90-degree angle. If you don't feel it, use your hand. Push that knee a little bit wider apart. We're going to take it into straddle splits next. If this is deep enough, if you're dying here in your frog, stay in frog, right? And just hold it there. But for those that want a little more, come back up to your hands, carefully come up to your feet, and then walk your feet as wide as they'll go. So the standing version of straddle splits is a little bit different than the seated one. Once you feel like you can't go any further, come down to your elbows if they reach. But see how my feet are still flat? They started to turn out naturally a little bit, but my feet are still on the ground. I'm not doing this. Okay, when we lift the feet up, that's more for the seated version. This one I like because it isolates the inner thighs. You really can't compensate with any other muscle. Whereas the seated one, sometimes you can compensate with your hamstrings. So take a few more breaths, either still in your frog or in your straddle splits. Good, now come up to your hands. Carefully bring your feet in, toe heel them in, back to where you started. If you were in frog, same thing. So probably about 4 or 5 feet apart. Sorry, 2 or 3 feet apart. It depends how tall you are. Turn your feet out 45 degrees, bend your knees, bring your elbows on your thighs, like a wide sumo squat. Use your elbows, push the inner thighs apart, press the chest forward, lengthen the spine. Now, right where your elbows are, take your hands, keep pushing the legs apart, straighten the arms. Drop your left shoulder, look to the right, should feel good on your back. And then switch, drop your right shoulder, look to the left. Now back to center, bring your chest up, hands to prayer, and stay low in your legs. And just hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shake it out. Standing number 4, so facing the front of the mat. Bring your hands to prayer. Take your right foot across, flex it, make that number 4 shape. So now you're going to feel that stretch in the outer hip. Bend your left leg. The more you bend the standing leg, the deeper the stretch is. Maybe hands to the floor. For those of you that know flying pigeon, go for the arm balance, right? Remember, I'm just throwing out those options. Otherwise, focus on the stretch today. If you don't know any arm balances, don't worry about it right now. Stay in that number 4 stretch. Open up that hip. Bend your left leg a lot. Come up, shake it out, switch sides. Hands to prayer, left foot across. Bend your right standing leg. The more you bend it, the deeper the stretch is. Maybe fingertips down or hands down, or maybe arm balances if you did so on the other side. Good, let's shake it out. Feet together at the top of the mat. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, swan dive down. Now, we haven't done malasana yet, our prayer squat, so we're going to do that one. So take your feet to the edges of the mat, turn your toes back out, and drop down. So we did kind of a wider version of this a moment ago, but this is more narrow, it's a little bit tighter. Use your elbows, push the inner thighs apart, press the chest forward. Now, if your heels are not on the ground, then go wider. Take them off of the mat and go a little bit wider to get your heels down and drop your butt down. You can stay here or open the arms. Slide that right shoulder inside the right knee, right hand down, left arm up. And then back to center and go the other way. Left shoulder inside the left knee, left hand down, right arm up. Good, back to center. Hands down, straighten your legs, bring your feet in just to hips width, feet parallel. Peace sign fingers, hook onto your big toes. Bend the knees if you need to get those toes. Inhale to lengthen your spine first. Exhale to fold. Drop your head, relax your neck, elbows to the side, shoulders away from the ears, and pull yourself towards your legs. If you want to add in your crow pose, maybe one more arm balance, plant your hands shoulder width. Bring your knees up high on those triceps, bend your arms a little bit, and then lean forward to lift the feet. Do not jump, right? And make sure the bony part of the knees are on the backs of the arms, not the outside of the arms. Good, hop or step, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale to your down dog. We're going to set up for our pigeon. Lift the right leg up, bend the knees, you bring it forward, put your right knee behind that right wrist. Slide that left leg back. So you might have to kind of wiggle it back, square your hips, and then fold. You want to make sure that you're not sitting on the right foot. Now, if you're in this position and you're feeling a lot of pain in your knee, lay on your back instead and do a lying down number 4, just like that standing pose, but laying on your back. Now, if you're in this position and your butt's all the way on the floor and you don't feel any stretch, then maybe you move your shin forward. But don't force it forward, okay? Again, if you start to feel it in the knee, bring it back in or lay on your back. Now, if you do move it forward and it feels fine, flex the foot and then fold. So your hips are square and you should feel that stretch in that right outer hip mostly. Depending on what's tighter, right? If your hip flexors, inner thighs tighter, you might also feel it in those areas as well, and that's okay. Just breathe into it. Walk your hands in. If you want to take that chaturanga in between sides, you can. If you're on your back, you can just switch sides. I'm just going to shake out that right leg. Shake it out and then reset in down dog. And then when you're ready, you switch sides. So if you're doing pigeon, you'll lift that left leg up, bring that knee forward right behind the wrist because that'll put it in line with the hip. You don't want to stay up, you're trying to slide it down. So wiggle that right leg as far back as you can and that will help you to get your hips closer to the floor. They may not be on the floor yet, that's okay, right? Over time, your hips will get more open and they'll get closer. If your hips are not on the floor yet, I would definitely keep this foot close to you, okay? Not under you, but close to you. And then you would fold here and you'll get a good stretch. But for those who are more flexible and their hips are already on the floor and square, then you can move it a couple inches forward or at most parallel to the front. Never further than that 90 degree, but make sure you still square your hips down. Don't lean to the side when you're in your pigeon because you'll actually lose the stretch. Even though it might look like you're closer to the floor, you're not getting as deep of a stretch. So square your hips and fold over that front leg. And let's walk the hands in. Last down dog. So again, if you want one more chaturanga, take that, or three-legged dog. And then just kind of check in. Notice how this down dog feels towards the end of your practice compared to that first down dog. Hopefully the legs feel a little bit more open. And step to the front, have a seat. So now we're going to stretch more into those inner thighs, right? We just stretched the outer hips with our pigeon. We're going to go back to stretching the inner thighs. So seated straddle split. So as I mentioned earlier, it's a little bit different from the standing one. Your legs are out in a V. I like to lift my butt up. See if you can wiggle those legs a little bit further apart. Make sure you flex your feet. So this one, you want your toes going straight up to the ceiling the whole time. Take your right hand, try to grab your right foot or just the leg, and then reach your left arm over your ear, creating that side body stretch. Good, go to the other side, creating that side body stretch on this side. Now, as you come up, make sure those toes stay pointing up. You're going to notice on some people as they fold forward, the toes want to roll in. We don't want that because then we lose some of the stretch. Flex the feet, toes going up, and walk your hands out. And that's maybe only a couple inches. Maybe it's a couple feet, right? You just go as far as you can. As long as you feel the stretch, that's all that matters. It doesn't matter what it looks like, okay? Keep the feet flexed. You're going to stretch the inner thighs. But like I said, you also get some of that hamstrings too because it's a forward fold. Just a wide-legged forward fold. Maybe after a few breaths, right, you try to walk your hands a little bit further out. Couple more breaths here. Good. Walk your hands back in, and then we'll bring it to butterfly. Still stretching the inner thighs. Just bring your feet together. Okay, use your hands, pull them in as close to as you can. I like to start by holding the ankles, and then use your elbows. Push the inner thighs further down, and then fold. So sometimes using those elbows helps you to get a deeper stretch. You can stay here if this feels good. If you want to walk the hands out here too, you can walk your hands out, right, and try to crawl it forward. You'll probably also feel this stretch in your lower back as well, right, besides the inner thighs. Slowly come up, close your knees, and then let's roll down onto our backs. Hug your knees in, rock a little side to side. Now we are going to do one more stretch for the outer hip. So you can come back to that figure four stretch like this, right? Right ankle across, and you reach through and you try to grab your left shin, or if you can't reach the shin, you grab your hamstring. Either way, and you pull it towards you. Or if you're looking for a deeper stretch, we're going to do pigeon, but on our back, a lying down version of pigeon. You can take both arms like this under the shin. It's sometimes a little bit easier. Or you can put your right foot in the left elbow, your knee in your right elbow, interlace the fingers. Some people call this cradle the baby as well. Flex the right foot and then try to put your head down. Now, if you can't put your head down, that's okay. You can just kind of dangle off the leg. Let your left leg just kind of relax there, but keep the right foot flexed and pull it towards you. And again, if this lying down pigeon is too much, go back to that lying down number 4. Then let's switch sides. So if you're doing number 4 stretch, you're going to cross the left ankle over the right thigh, reach through and grab that right shin or maybe just the right hamstring and pull it towards you. Or lying down pigeon, both arms cradling right underneath the shin like this, or knee in the elbow, foot in the elbow, maybe interlacing the hands. And ideally getting the head down, but wherever your head is fine, but try to relax your neck. Relax that right leg, flex the left foot, and then use the arms to help pull that left leg closer to your chest. Again, it's just like pigeon, but you flipped it over on your back. So just a different way to stretch those same muscles. Good, release. One last pose before we get to our Shavasana. Take your arms out like a T. Bend your knees and cross the right knee over the left knee. Move your hips an inch or two to the right so you can line up the spine. Drop your knees to the left. Maybe turn your gaze to the right if that's okay, the neck, or close the eyes, coming into that spinal twist with the legs crossed. Now it does make it deeper with the legs crossed, so if that's too much, just uncross the legs and drop the knees to the left. Bring it to center. Switch to cross of the legs. Left leg crosses on top. Move your hips an inch or two to the left. Drop the knees to the right and turn the gaze to the left or close your eyes, coming into this last spinal twist, this last pose. Let's bring it back to center. Uncross the legs. Wrap your arms around your shins and curl up into a tight ball. Bringing your forehead up to your knees. Give yourself a big hug and then just let it go. Coming right into our Shavasana, our final relaxation. Extend the legs long and let your feet kind of fall open. Arms relax alongside you, palms facing up. Take your shoulders, shrug them down away from your ears to help keep the neck long. As you close your eyes, clear away all of your thoughts. Take a nice deep inhale through your nose. Exhale all the air out the mouth. Let it go and let your muscles relax even deeper into the floor. Slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and toes and just bring some small movements back to your body. Maybe draw a couple circles with the wrists and ankles, or gently moving your head side to side. Anything that feels good to you. When you feel ready, reach those arms overhead, reach the legs long like a nice good morning stretch. Get as tall as you can. And hug your knees into your chest and roll to one side, coming into a fetal position. Keep your eyes closed. Use your hands to press yourself all the way up into a comfortable seated position. Cross the legs, sit up nice and tall. Bring your hands together at heart center, Anjali Mudra, and take a couple last deep breaths. Scanning the body, noticing how it feels after your yoga practice today. Let's take one more nice deep inhale through your nose. Exhale all the air out the mouth, letting it go. Lift your hands to your forehead, your third eye center, and bowing forward. Namaste. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that hip opening flow, right? That's a great way for those of you who are doing it live, great way to start your day, kind of loosen things up in the morning. But this is a great practice anytime, right? It's all levels. We open the inner and outer hip, so it's great to do if those legs are feeling tight. So I hope you enjoyed this practice. Remember, you can catch it. If you didn't catch it live, you can catch it on IGTV or on my YouTube channel, Rachel Silverman Yoga.